Continuing with the story number 4, we saw the 144,000 go up into heaven. They're the first fruits of the first resurrection. They are the two witnesses, which were also first fruits of the first resurrection. Didn't say that, but these are the two that rose. So these are the two candlesticks, the two churches comprised of 144,000 individuals up in heaven. And now we continue with verse 6 of chapter 14. And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people, saying with a loud voice, Fear God, and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of water. We saw that the gospel's got to go out to all the earth in Matthew, and then the end will come. This is like Matthew 24:14, somewhere in there. Not only do people get the word out, but an angel's actually going to go out. So again, angels could be stars. Stars, that might be, they put satellites out. There's actually digital angel, or not digital angel, but there's angel TV. That might be the satellite. It's just talking about a picture going on to different people's TVs. It might be a real angel. There's just no telling. And after that angel, verse 8, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink the wine of the wrath of her fornication. So we're going to see a little bit more about that in chapter 17, where it describes what all these different things means. But fallen is not necessarily destroyed, but it's a very sinful city. It's going to be the capital of this final empire. So that final empire will probably be headquartered in Rome. Babylon will be the new capital city when the Antichrist takes over the Roman Empire, the new Roman Empire. Again, whether that's Damascus or Babylon or maybe even Jerusalem under the Antichrist. Verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. This is why you don't need to take that mark. You can face, it's a temporary thing. 3.5 years is the max that you've got to endure without taking that mark. But if you give in, you've got to face the wrath of God, and He can torment you forever and ever and ever. So don't count on being able to pluck out your eye or cut off your hand. It tells you flat out here what's going to happen to you. And the smoke of their torment ascends up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whoever receives the mark of his name. So some people say, well, you're just saying that to scare me. If that doesn't scare you, nothing will. So this is going to be a horrible time. It's going to be hard to resist. This fear, tormented forever and ever, there's no annihilation. You will live somewhere either with Jesus or you will live in torment. Going on to verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints, I would say so. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, says the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works follow them. So I'm going to describe this a little bit more in chapter 15. It looks like heaven closes for a time. When God's pouring out his wrath, heaven's actually closed. So usually when you die, you go straight up to be with Jesus in heaven. But while God's pouring out his wrath, heaven's closed. So, but we're still blessed. God can handle that. So just because you don't go immediately to Jesus, who knows how things work during this short period of time when God pours out those 7 bowls of wrath. But I'll describe that a little bit more when we get to it in chapter 15. Starting with verse 14 to 16 now, we're going to see that harvest. This is where Jesus comes for his people. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, Thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. So Jesus has come for his people. This is the rapture / resurrection. So If you're dead, you get the 6 foot head start. You come out on the earth. And then if you're alive, you get changed. And together, both those who are dead and those who are alive are caught up in the clouds to meet Jesus. This is the only picture in Revelation of that time. So that harvest period that God described at the end of the world, when he's going to separate the wheat and the tares, this is that time. This is that harvest. Then we see what happens to everybody else. Verses 17 through 20. And another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of God. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horse bridles, by the space of 1,600 furlongs, 200 miles. What is that? 5 feet, 6 feet high? Dead bodies. That's God's wrath. God is going to kill those that killed his people. So we saw that Satan had power to kill even the saints. Well, here God is taking out his vengeance and punishing them. Just a horrible time. Don't come to Jerusalem to kill God. This is your fate, to fight against the saints or any of that.